The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'll be your webinar facilitator today. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Lead Generation Local Business Marketing, How to Increase Traffic, Views, Clicks, and Calls webinar. As a brief reminder, all lines are currently on mute to prevent background noise. If you have questions during the presentation, please go ahead and type them into your chat box. We'll be happy to answer at the end of the webinar. It's my pleasure to welcome Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group. CI Web Group is one of our preferred vendors, helping dealers be more successful out in their own business. And I did want to mention Jennifer is at a live event this week in a conference room, so hopefully we won't have anybody walking in and interrupting the webinar while it happens, but we'll see how that goes. So Jennifer, you may take it away.
Thank you so much, Ms. Catherine. I appreciate it. And for all of you taking time to attend today, I appreciate your time. So we're going to take a minute and work on the business instead of in it, and talk a little bit about local business marketing, local directory marketing, local directory listings, local brand management, local reputation management. There are 101 different names for managing your brand on digital directories that consumers use and search engines use to find you, your contact info, and what you do. It's that simple. So I don't want to get too caught up in the verbiage or the terminology, because so many different agencies and SEOs, they call it different things. But the reality is it's just that. These are directories that allow you to market your brand on their platform. Okay, directories are all different kinds of directories, so we'll get into that, but I want to really focus on why these are so critical, and with some upcoming changes that are taking place as far as how consumers are searching, as far as how search engines are evaluating information and displaying options to those people searching online. All of these up and coming changes are making local business listings or local directory marketing even more important than they have been in the past. So Catherine and I were just talking before the webinar, and I said, you know, I love doing webinars, and I always try and do a new presentation. Have I spoke about local listings in the past? Absolutely. You can probably go grab 2 or 3 different sessions that I've done, but I enjoy doing it each time, because every time I have to prepare a brand new PowerPoint, I'm digging and really, you know, wrapping my arms around what's changing in our world, your world, and your customers' world, as well as in technology, that's driving the priority level for whatever it is that I'm talking about. How important is it? Is it becoming more important, less important? Everything changes, right? It's dynamic depending on how the world fluctuates and technology fluctuates. So that being said, if you've heard me speak before, I've definitely covered the 12-step roadmap, which is essentially just that. It is a series of marketing activities, when done in the right order, at the right time, produce accelerated results. Now, being that right now it's 2018, we're actually going to have to reframe the 12-step roadmap because of some major initiatives that are taking place, again, in technology, search engines, and with consumers. So 12 steps, 12 stages per step. However, the order will change. The priority will change. So right now, as it stands, local listings is going to bounce around in between step 1 and step 4. What I mean by that is, in some instances, local listings is actually more important than a website. And I'll explain more as we get there. So the 12 steps is simple. Again, don't get stuck on the order. Be flexible with it, because it should change. It should be dynamic. But number 1, website. Number 2, content. 3, CRM, online scheduling, online invoicing. Number 4, local listings. That's what we're talking about today. Number 5, reviews generation. 6, social media. 7, SEO. 8, video. That used to be number 11. 9, blogging. That used to be number 8. Email and text marketing, PPC, and mobile. This is going to change. Okay, again, it's the order, which means priority. Is everything on this list absolutely important? Yes, but reality sinks in. We can't afford to do everything, right? Where will we put it? We can't have everything. So when it boils down to this, how consumers think, what do you do? I'm getting ready to speak for the next 3 days. Just did the same thing last 7 months. And I ask every audience the same thing. When you need something, what do? Say, I don't know, Google it. And then what? Every audience I speak to around the nation and abroad says the exact same thing. If you need a product or service, what do? I Google it. Then what do? I click on the first page of Google. Do you click on the ads? No, I don't click on the ads. Do you click on the maps? Absolutely click on the maps. Do you click on the top 10 listings on page 1? Yes. Do you look at reviews? Yes. Do you glance at their website? Make a decision if you think they're professional or not. Do other people's opinions, do those reviews weigh in if you're going to move forward or backwards, if you're going to keep looking or press on? All of these things are interconnected. Your customers live in this space, okay? And as a speaker, I love it, right? I'm the CEO of a company, but I'm also an international speaker, and so I get to talk to different people, all age groups, from around the nation and abroad, about how they buy, and they live in a different space. Now, you might not. You might be a small percentage, someone who's not quite there, not using the same technologies yet. You might not like the same things that the majority of the population is using day in and day out, and that's okay. Just remember, you're not trying to market to yourself. So we're in a new era, and it's always going to be new. Don't get stuck on just today. Don't get stuck on where it is right now. It's always going to be changing. Technology is going to keep advancing faster than anything else. People are going to keep changing their ways, their habits, their behaviors. From all the different devices that are coming out, different browsers, maps, directories, apps, AI, artificial intelligence, and smart home apps, businesses are looking to get found and be an option everywhere, because that's where consumers are looking, everywhere. That's the kinds of devices they're looking. They're everywhere. They're all different kinds of devices, and everybody has their favorites. Right now, actually this is a 2017 study, 71% of people are using voice assistants to ask questions, search for something, companies, products, services. 71% are using some kind of an AI device. The majority, or the largest percent of that 71%, are people 45 and older. Hardware sales for different kinds of devices are going through the roof. Alexa, Google, Siri, Cortana, all of these different kinds of AI devices, or voice search devices, or smart home devices are coming to market. Amazon is definitely leading the way. There's an increasing movement towards smart homes. The big brands are in search of this space, as is Daikin. They're investing now to be in control of the interfaces for these lifestyle experiences, these life-attached experiences, from locking doors remotely, managing room temperature, turning on or off the lights, or changing the color in the lights. Voice is leading the way for how we all interact with technology. Using voice controls is a logical shift from typing, and it will prove to be the next frontier, a mass adoption by consumers, and it will continue to expand. Why is this important? Because people type different than they speak. They speak faster, they have more words. The queries are much different than if they're Googling using their fingers on a keyboard. Now here's the reality. Every year, kind of the beginning of the year, usually Q1, I'll do a webinar and I'll talk about what's coming. What's happening this year? And these are only the things that we're able to predict because there's major announcements that are out, because the industry and communities that we participate in are talking about these things. But these are major, significant advancements that are occurring in 2018. I'm going to talk about these on each webinar until everybody's got a good list in their head, because they're important. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, I was talking about things like mobile responsive website. Google's taking it a step further, and I shouldn't just say Google. Search engines are taking it a step further. It's called mobile first. It's not just about being responsive anymore. There's an entirely different philosophy in regards to mobile websites that changes everything. Voice search. The use of voice-enabled speakers will grow by 130% in the next year. Actions and skills. Google calls them actions. Amazon calls them skills. This is a new player in how people use these devices in order to search or find or work with different products and services that they may have or are interested in getting. PHP 7, that's a game changer. That's the code behind a website. That means all new code, all new website, all new servers. AMP, we talked about this last year. Accelerated mobile pages. Last year was the first real year that small businesses were starting to adopt AMP. It had been implemented by the major news and media sites. This is accelerated mobile pages with the mobile first initiative that Google and your major search engines are coming out with. AMP, accelerated mobile pages, is becoming ever more important, and there's some really interesting new developments happening in that. Schema, schematic markup coding, probably the #1 most important element of any digital space right now. Visual search, Amazon moving into the visual search space with their new Echo Look, Spot, and Show products. That is a 2018-2019 initiative. So we're talking about voice search and how that's going to change how consumers find you. Right now, we're already there. 71% adoption rate, growing by 130% in the next year. And we're already on to the next major technology initiative, visual search, which is an enhancement on top of voice search. Technology and tactics that marketing leaders see as the next big thing in search engine marketing as of May 2017 was AI, machine learning, voice search, digital assistants, mobile optimization, mobile speed and app indexing. In addition to that, HTTPS, security matters. Google is now evaluating sites based on their security parameters as well. So here's the reality, right? I have on the 12-step roadmap, we have website as #1. Websites are going to continue to get more expensive, and they're going to take longer to build. We're going to need more resources and a longer window in order to be able to build a website that now has the mobile first initiative, the schema initiative, the AMP initiative, the PHP 7 initiative, all of these new pieces of technology and or standardized structures or formats. It's going to take longer and it's going to be more expensive. Or people will go with the basics and the website will be out of date from a technology standpoint the day they launch. Now I say this because not everybody is going to be able to afford or have a budget or the time available to have this really high profile website with all of this functionality that costs much more than your typical small business website. So what can you do in order to keep your business competitive? Your primaries are always going to be, well, I should never say always, let me not say that. Your primaries are web, search, social, local, and mobile. Here's the beauty of local. You get it all. It accomplishes search, it accomplishes web, it accomplishes social, and it accomplishes mobile. Now, I've never been a fan of, and you guys have probably heard me say, every business has to have a website. It's your own physical asset. You own it. It improves the valuation of your entire business. But when reality sets in, not at the expense of missing this opportunity to leverage local marketing, local directory marketing, local business listings as a primary focal point of getting your brand out. When it comes to investments, this is one of the least expensive things you can do to get the greatest impact on your business. And as an entrepreneur, I've seen every layer and stage of a business. I've coached hundreds of thousands of companies, so I know what it's like to be sitting as a startup all the way through every major stuck phase you get into, through the various challenges that come with growth. So what can you do? So let's go through some important pieces. First, make your website intelligent. It's got to be smart. Intelligent services rely on structured data to provide rich experiences. So you need to ensure data for your brand is structured in a way that these services, i.e. search engines, understand. This means content. Remember, Google is deaf and blind. It reads by Braille. Content is what it's looking for, and the labeling of the content means schematic markup, which I hate having to get into all this stuff. I hate having to go through all this technical stuff, but the reality is it's necessary to at least have a conversation and be familiar with. Just be familiar with it because it's important. Does it take more resources, more time? Absolutely. Is it critical? Absolutely. So search engines need this labeling in order to be able to understand what content you have on your site, what category should it go into, and what city should it function in. Gain control over your digital knowledge. Okay, this is, so if you have a website, it's probably old, and even if we build a website right now, with the amount of changes that are coming out, it's going to be old too. And I don't have a better, it's just the reality is building a website. It's not a project. It's a process. It's a lifestyle. It's an ongoing budget to stay on top of all these things. All these really cool things are great when you're a consumer and you get to use all these fun little gadgets, but when you're a business owner or a marketing agency, my goodness, it takes some work. So the next thing, gain control over your digital knowledge. Digital knowledge, Google has what's called a knowledge base, which is basically an online kind of intellect that evaluates information and is able to organize, store it, share it, and display it in certain when certain criteria falls in line. A digital knowledge manager. So we have multiple digital knowledge managers on board our team. I think we have 5 now. This is someone that is capable of reaching across various internal groups within your organization and external groups, different departments that are responsible for various marketing initiatives. So we call it cross-collaboration or cross-functional marketing. This is someone capable of arbitrating internal sources of client-facing digital facts about your brand. Bottom line, there's things within your business that are important to share. If you just got picked up by new media, you have the news coming into your office, you're doing a charity, you're going to be at a home show, you have a special promotion, you're launching a new smart home thermostat, and you want to get that out there. If you specialize in doing ductless installations for houseboats, vessels, that may be something that's important. You have information that needs to get out to these networks. So either internally or externally, having someone that is responsible for extracting all of that most valuable information, new hires, birthdays, anniversaries, your 50-year anniversary in business, you got new trucks, whatever it is that's important, okay? That information needs to get to all of these different devices. Actively manage your knowledge, okay? Which basically means that managing the information or the knowledge base for your business, it's not a one and done project. It's not something you can sign up for, pay once, boom, update everything, call it a day. It doesn't work like that. Being in an active, engaged role with whoever's doing it. If you're doing it internally, great. If you have an agency that's doing that for you, fantastic. If you're bringing on an agency to do this, that's great. But being an active part of that, I always tell our clients and our team, everybody's got to show up to the table with more than an appetite. There are things agency can do you can't get done, right? An agency, for example, our company, we have buying power when it comes to signing up for all these local engines, these local directories. We can pay a much smaller rate for an account than you guys can because you're buying for one. We're buying for thousands. However, what you have the tribal knowledge of what's happening in your community, your industry, with your weather, with local, actively managing that knowledge and sharing it with the, I almost said the nerds, who need to disseminate it across all of these different networks. That's got to be your responsibility. That's important. Publishing your knowledge. As soon as you organize it, right? As soon as you sit down, whether you're sitting down on a monthly or quarterly or semi-annual or seasonal basis and you're pulling together, you know, these are all the things that are constants, right? We have programs for military and vets. We have programs for police and firefighters. Maybe we're in California and that's our gig. Maybe we're close to educational institutions and we have different promotions and things we do for students. Maybe we have a training course at a local college and we're helping with their programs there. Whatever it is, gathering all of that information up and then publishing it, having that information published across multiple directory and engines, you're now taking your assets, that information, and sharing it, reusing it, repurposing it across multiple digital spaces so that you can get in front of more and more consumers that are using different kind of apps and different websites that they like. Forget about what you like, that they like. We need to refocus the way that we communicate. Content is changing. So this conversational long tail is really designed for search. So when you think about a voice search, when you think about how people search, when somebody goes to a computer and they type in AC installation company in Titusville, Florida, okay? That's what they're going to do if they actually type on a computer. But remember, 71% are now using voice published or voice search, which means your content has to be re-indexed. It has to change. It has to connect with someone saying, hey, Google, find me the best air conditioning service and repair company in Titusville, Florida with the best reviews. That's a much different search. Or, hey, Google, when do I need to replace my air conditioning system from my residential property or from my house on the coast of Florida? So as you start thinking about these, refocusing your content, creating more content, and I do not mean, I am not telling you to go in and modify the content that's designed for somebody typing into Google. What I am saying is that additional content needs to be, do not do that. Additional content needs to be added for voice. Now, these digital knowledge, essentially what it is, these local directories, local business listings, digital knowledge is who you are, where you work, how do you do what you do, how do people reach you, what can you help with, when can you help with it, where can you help with it, all of these different questions. Digital knowledge consists of public facts about your business. This examples. What's your address? What's your hours of operation? Your phone number, your GPS coordinates, your hours of operation for holidays, emergency process. Do you offer emergency service? Do you have maintenance agreements? Do you offer payment plans? Do you offer financing options for new air conditioner system installation? So listen to the language. Do you offer financing options for air conditioner system installation in blank city? I didn't say financing options or HVAC financing. Too generic, Okay, it needs to be granular detail for Google to understand what you're talking about and to place it in front of those people that are looking. Okay. Information on your installers, your technicians. As your business grows, services evolve, customer expectations increase, technology advances, you're going to have to add more. Granular product and service details, air conditioner installation in blank, air conditioner replacement in blank, air conditioner service in blank, AC installation, air conditioner installation, air conditioning installation, right? You want to continue to expand these things. Here's the beauty. These devices, these search devices, Siri, Google, Alexa, Echo, and so forth, these work heavily with local business listings, not your website. They're not typically going out to Google and finding a general search and finding a website on the internet. They're looking at the major online directories to find the best option based on all of the digital knowledge it has, the data you have in those directories, and what other consumers say about you. Those pretty little stars in the reviews. So if you want to do business in this era with these devices where people are busy, they're talking to their GPS saying, hey Google, find me, I forgot I was supposed to get a tune-up scheduled for my air conditioner. My wife's going to let me have it. And they quickly pull out their phone or talk to their Amazon GPS, Garmin GPS tool and ask the question. You need to be an option in that space. So we need to actively manage the knowledge, making sure your website is mobile friendly. Local directories, it's already done for you. Embracing schema markup, local directories, it's already done for you. You got to pay for that to get done on your website. There's resources that it costs, but on local directories, that's already there. And we have to remember that anytime our mind is set on, I want it inexpensive, fast, and I want high quality, then no, not so much. I think Walmart's one of the only companies that attempted that and performed decently. So if you want to do it right, it means it's going to take some resources and some time. It may take a higher budget. If you want it to be inexpensive, it's probably not going to perform well, but they can get it done faster. If finances, budget is important, and speed is important, and performance, i.e. quality is important, and you don't have a lot of any of those, right now the best solution is forget the website. If you don't have a ton of content, and you don't have a big budget, and you don't have time and patience, great website content, here's the down and dirty. This is the entrepreneur version. Go local and start with a landing page. Build your digital network across all of these different directories. Focus on building your reviews, establishing your brand online. Utilize a landing page, which is essentially a one-page website. It's inexpensive. It doesn't require a ton of content and pictures and all the other things you got to invest in to get a website done. And if you concentrate on building your local digital marketing and your reviews acquisition on these third-party sites for the first year or two, then later when you do invest in a custom website and all the content and all the additional things that you need, you're probably going to outperform a business that has had a website for 4 or 5 years, did not get their directories, their local directories situated, did not focus on generating their reviews on third-party systems, and you come in and boom, in a year, you're making massive progress because you got some of these infrastructure things in place first. So it's okay to start off with something like a very beautifully designed landing page, one page. You don't have to have all the content and everything else. Start off with those local listings and jump in. There are 100 local directories. So we used to have access to, I want to say 3 years ago, we had the top 60 available within our network. Last year we had 70. We're now up to 100 directories that we have access to be able to publish to, content to, as well as manage. Some of the directories are things like Maps, Google Maps, Yelp Maps, your Yellow Pages Maps, Bing Maps. Some of them are social sites, Facebook, Twitter. Some of them are directories, Yellow Pages, White Pages, City Search. Some of them are like chambers, okay? Are you familiar with all of these? No. Do you use all of these? No. Are they important? Yes. In a digital marketing space, it's about owning and occupying as much real estate as possible. Every one of these directories gives you the opportunity to create a backlink to your website or landing page, which is extremely valuable. The more directories that you own your brand on, the less risk you have of, one grumpy person waking up on the wrong side of bed, leaving a bad review, and it just popping up first thing right out of the gate. You have more places to develop networks, publish content, own and occupy more real estate on Google, more place to generate traffic and conversions. The first step in a local business marketing or a local directory marketing strategy is to get listed and to make sure those listings are accurate. So I pulled up one of our clients in Washington State. They have 3 locations, one in Ferndale, one in Marysville, one in Everett. I believe that's right. So these are the 3 pins on the map for their locations. We've set up 193 directories. We've done 1,612 updates to those directories. The more updates that are done, the faster that those directories become relevant on Google and climb to the top of Google. We've done 32 suppressions, which essentially means that another agency, another marketing company, another direct competitor is setting up a directory with your company brand, your address, and their phone number. They're leveraging the power of your brand to generate leads. That's one version. In less than a year, there's been 32 suppressed just for this single client, so it's not something I would treat lightly. Okay, we have publisher suggestions. What this has done is this has left a great impression on those searching. Google search views has increased 100%, 47,000 views. This is in less than a 12-month period. Google Maps views have increased to 16,252. Bing impressions, Facebook impressions over 300,000 combined with the social media plan, network search impressions, and so forth. These searches, remember, 71% of people are using voice searches. These directories are often the ones that are showing up. Again, it's these directories. Okay, so first is we need to get you listed. We need to make sure all of those listings are accurate and that you own them all. We need to optimize them for your primary search terms and locations. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? The same thing that's done on a website can be done within the digital local listing space, and it is a lot less expensive. You can do this up to 100 directories, so sometimes we'll get 60 of them approved, sometimes we'll get 80, sometimes we get 90, sometimes we get 70. We usually go for all 100. Now this is where we have group buys. So for us, we're able to purchase these in bulk for many, many different companies that we manage their local presence for. So it's a lot less expensive than you guys going out and purchasing subscription to these directories independently. What we're looking at doing is building the brand, making sure that we have complete consistency across the base. If your company name is ABC Heating and Air Conditioning, Inc., I need every one of these to say ABC Heating and Air Conditioning, Inc. I need your address to be the same, your phone number to be the same, all those call tracking numbers that have been issued by other companies, I need those out. unless you have a big investment. I don't want other agencies or directories, phone numbers on your listings. I don't want competitors on your listings. We need to make sure that there's a good brand view, meaning that the reviews look good. We don't have any reputation management issues. We need to make sure that the categories and pictures and promotions and images and that the pin is in the correct place on the map. All of these different views matter. We need complete consistency. Google is using this information to validate who you are as a company, as is consumers, as is your competitors trying to use your brand to better their business, to generate leads for their business. All of these things need monitored, protected. We need to set them up, optimize them, make sure they're accurate, and then market the heck out of them to make sure that they are magnetic. Within these systems, you have information just like you would if you had analytics on a website. You can better understand customer habits, but you can see more of it. So you can see over time, and this is for a group of, I think this is those same three. So you can kind of get an idea. When we first start managing the local directories, there is no traffic, very little, because most businesses are not properly managing their local listings. Even if they're paying for someone to manage local listings for them, what they'll do is they'll pay for it, they'll set it up, and then the company does nothing. They don't continue to do updates and reviews, acquisitions, and all these other things that actually make the networks grow and produce traffic like this. You can see whether they're using desktop or mobile or tablet, how much they're using. These numbers are obviously changing drastically. If you look at the mobile searches on this one, just in August, drastic difference. You can also learn more about customer actions. These sites, these local directories, more and more of them are providing intelligent data or insights that allow us to be able to see how much traffic, how many reviews, clicks, calls, listing views, and more. So we're able to now see in Google, on Yelp, and so forth, how many views are we getting on the map? How many views are we getting on search? How many times is somebody asking for directions? How many phone calls are we generating? How many clicks to their website are we generating? And again, if you look at these charts, this is real data right out of our system. These are for companies. HVAC dealers specifically. This is a sampling from across the nation of multiple companies, but you can see all of them start at 0. They're not using these. So when you take your company from not utilizing local listings at all or thinking you're utilizing them, but you're not, and you move it into an environment where it now becomes part of how you get phone calls, clicks to your site or your landing page, how you get conversions and new business opportunities, that will change your world. And a lot of times people don't know. A lot of times we'll have clients call and they're like, I don't know if I'm getting business off my website. You know, people just say they found me on Google. Yeah. So, or they found me on Yelp. Yeah, we manage that. So do you want to, there's a lot of different avenues to be able to generate calls. In addition to that, reviews acquisition and remarketing. There are a lot of different types of systems to be able to generate reviews or collect reviews. The problem is most of those review sites don't have the ability to take those reviews, display them on your website in a format where Google indexes the content somewhere else. How can I put this? Without being too nerdy. ReviewBuzz. ReviewBuzz collects a bunch of reviews for you. Yes, you can get a lot of reviews from all over. They display all those reviews on ReviewBuzz's website / your company name, and that's where they stay. If you want to display those or use those reviews somewhere else, they give you a widget Google can't see, can't read, can't view, has no benefit, and you plop it onto a website, boom, they're just there. But they're not going to help you generate more traffic to your website. So within this, we have the ability to extract that in a format where consumers can leave feedback across hundreds of sites. You don't have to wonder, did you get a review? There's no guesswork. You get real-time notifications every time a review comes in, good, bad, or indifferent. You can engage with customers on their terms. Wherever they left the feedback, that's where you'd want to provide the response. You can address negative feedback and acknowledge happy customers. Thank them for leaving a review. You want to continue to reward the behavior you want to see more of. Also, collaborate and maintain brand control. And you guys, everyone knows this. Grumpy individuals are more likely to leave a negative review than happy people all day. It's part of their MO. It's what they do. Damaging another company's brand, they're not thinking about that. They're just reacting. So there's plenty of them out there. Best thing I can tell you is don't get caught up in the fact that there's a negative review. Put all of your energy into acquiring positive ones. Stay focused on the positive. Don't succumb to the negativity because it will get you nowhere. It's just a reality. It is what it is. So focus on the positive ones and address the others. Build confidence in your brand. Now, the confidence you have is different. People who are looking for the services you sell, the products you sell, they're going to make a decision before you ever have an opportunity to tell them how great you are. And they're going to make that decision based on, were you an option? Where they were looking, when they were looking, did you look good when they got there? Did other people like you? Do you have what they need? Where they need it? Are you easy to reach? Do you look professional? Do you look experienced? If all these things lined up, you get a phone call and you'll have the ability to share additional information with that prospect about your brand and how amazing you are. But without those things in order, consumers are making their decision whether or not to call, even when it's a referral, prior to ever speaking with you. So unlike a well-known established brand, customers don't know what to expect from small businesses. They may be hesitant to hand over their hard-earned cash. That's when reviews come in handy. I'll give you the best example. You guys have probably had experiences that are negative with digital marketing agencies. Not saying that they're bad, but maybe you didn't understand their work. Maybe you had too many negative experiences with them that the last one just happened to get it. Maybe your expectations were out of alignment. Who knows? It may be valid or it may be not. Your consumers who are hiring tradesmen, technical professionals to come to their home to perform services for things they don't understand. They might have had bad experiences with someone. They might not have enough technical knowledge to even know if they should be upset with you. They may be scared with no real reason to, because whoever scared them actually did something good. They just didn't know any better. That's the reality. How do you judge someone that, or something that you're not a technical expert at? It's really hard, and people don't always remember that. So we all have that in our businesses. It's identical. They don't understand you, and vice versa. You guys might not understand our world, and it's the same thing. But what you can do is you can leverage and really focus, meaning it needs to become a behavior, a part of your everyday process to acquire positive reviews distributed across many local directory sites as well as your website. Now there is a priority. Priority number one, Google Business Listing, your Google Maps account. That is number one, hands down. There are other priorities as well, but that's number one. And you want those to be stretched across many. These reviews legitimize your business, give potential customers better understanding of what you do and why you're superior than your competitors. So when you're budgeting for a local marketing strategy, there's lots of different things they can do, and you want to get down to the nitty-gritty and figure out, what are you investing in? What exactly are you getting? Because there's a lot of different things. Somebody may say, you know what, we're going to set you up. We're going to set up all your local listing accounts. And you may sign up and be like, whoa, we're doing marketing. Not so much. All they did was set them up. And that may be all that you're paying for. You may only be investing in having an account with accurate information on all those directories. You might not have a budget that is for profile accuracy, ongoing management, real-time reviews, notifications. There's other functionality that can help acquire new reviews, a reviews acquisition system, duplicate monitoring and suppressions or reputation management, content creation, graphics creation, promotion creation, video creation, content publishing, remarketing, reporting, project management, and strategy. You guys, there are a ton of things that all require different kinds of resources that can be done to produce a different result when it comes to local business marketing. Your budget may or may not include, and I tell people all this all the time, it's as important to know what are you not investing in as it is to know what you are investing in. Why? Because you don't know what's next if you don't know what you're not paying for. You don't know what you could be doing, what you could be leveraging. Okay? And a lot of times when a company, a small business sits down with a digital marketing company, it's already overwhelming. I'm probably overwhelming you on this call because I overwhelm myself and my team overwhelms me. It's hard when you start talking about web, search, social, local, mobile, content, video, you start going down all these things, it is overwhelming. So best thing you can do what you're doing right now. Keep showing up for training, keep learning. All of a sudden light bulbs start going off, starts making more sense. And by the time you learn everything, it'll change anyway. So everything is, and that's when you just need to have a great personality and smile through it. Everything is interdependent. Everything is interdependent. Your website is not effective, not as effective when your local business listings or local directories are inaccurate, are not complete, or are repurposing or publishing somewhere else they shouldn't be. Your SEO strategy is not as effective if you don't have or bank on the backlinks from the top 60 plus local business listings. If you don't have the reviews on third-party sites, then your website and your SEO and your conversion strategy and your social media strategy are all not going to be as effective. If content is only being used in one place and not across many mediums, what's the point of making something and then not reusing it across 100 different directories to gain more space, more real estate, more traffic, more visibility, and more leads when all it takes is create one asset, distribute everywhere, and bank on those efforts? Everything is interdependent. Let me give you a couple guidelines. I get questions like this about reviews all the time. Here's some basics. Do not copy your reviews from one website to your website. I see all the time someone will sign up for Review Buzz and they're like, oh, I'm just going to copy all these reviews and paste them on my website. No! If you want to add stars to your organic search results, Google now explicitly requires you to generate your own fresh reviews directly from your customers, directly on your website. Okay, we have a whole nother training for that. Everything I've talked about is reviews on third-party directories, third-party listing sites, local directories. Okay, this is a different process. Okay, you might be tempted to copy and mark up to a 5-star from a site like Facebook or Yelp, so they display in a search engine SERP, but this violates Google's guidelines, and they will find out. It is not if. It is when. Do not want to play with that. There are a ton of companies targeting contractors, making claims that they can do this. Just say no. If it sounds like they're cheating, run. Don't cheat. Okay? Do not use canned reviews responses. Businesses risk more than doing more harm than good if the responses are all alike. In some cases, this is from CEO over at Convince and Convert. He said scripted, tone-deaf responses are as bad as no response at all. Your customers are individuals and they deserve to be treated as such. Here's my opinion when it comes to local directories as CEO to CEO or business owner to business owner. You need to get everything off your plate that someone else is an expert at as fast as possible so that you can focus on the list of things that only you can do. Focus on the things that only you can do. Hey, don't cheat. You like my little no fake reviews? Customers are asking Google, Siri, and Alexa, what's the best air conditioning something in blank with the best reviews? While each site and services use its own algorithm to determine the best answers, questions like these, they all consult reviews to inform their results. They're giving priority, real estate, to those companies with the best, the most, and the most frequent reviews. They are giving priority. So when 71% of the population is searching online, if 50% of your total traffic is from mobile searches, remember, let's say your analytics currently say that only 20% of your searches are coming from mobile searches. It doesn't mean people aren't looking on cell phones. It means your website's not set up to capture those. Be careful with how you twist data. Okay, so the race to get more reviews. Some businesses are found trying to buy, sell fake reviews, padding their ratings for their own business with fraudulent content, hand-selecting only happy customers to ask for feedback. These practices erode user confidence on online reviews, and they've unfortunately led to very serious consequences. There are multiple lawsuits out there for deceptive practices when it comes to reviews. I highly recommend, when it comes to digital marketing, that is creating backlinks, website, content, reviews, keep it legit. Keep it legit. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You gotta work for it. That's why we're entrepreneurs, right? You gotta work for it. We all agreed to this. So, working with CI Web Group, if you need help with this, if you need help in this area, we definitely make it easy. When it comes to local business listings, we can do everything and keep the work off of your plate and give you an opportunity to focus on what you do best, which is working in your business. And when those reviews comes in, we want you to respond. That's the main goal. Depending on how aggressive you want to be, we have plans starting all the way from $100 a month for the basic setup and wait, all the way to five-figure investments, depending on how aggressive, how many resources, how much content, how many locations, what are all the things that you want to do in order to market your business, again, for a small business. If you are just getting started, if you don't have a website, if you don't have a lot of content, if you don't have good content, I say from an entrepreneur standpoint, bootstrap it. Don't spend thousands of dollars on a website right now. Get your local listings in order. Utilize a landing page. Beautifully designed landing page. Make it look good. Come out of pocket with a very small investment up front. Focus on doing what's important. And when you're ready to invest in a full-blown website and additional or more advanced marketing techniques, you're going to be well ahead of all those who have not managed their local listings, even though they've spent a lot of money in other places. So I think that's a great strategy, something for all of you to consider. Depending on where you guys are, we've got different account executives and strategists that can help you in different areas. So grab your phone, snap a picture. Of course, you guys will get a copy of the PowerPoint as well as the presentation. Feel free to call. You guys, if you give one of our account executives a ring, they will run a local listings analysis for you and give it to you that shows all the local listings and how your company is displayed on those listings, and it will display all of the errors and or gaps on all of them as well. If you do nothing, just do that. At least get that report so you've got some awareness. Other than that, highly recommend you get set up and ready to roll before we hit summer. That's the time when you should be capitalizing on all the great business and taking advantage of getting as many reviews as you possibly can. With that, Ms. Catherine, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jennifer. So if you have any questions, go ahead and use your chat box. We'll be happy to answer your questions. You will receive a follow-up email a little bit later today. I'm sure you know that. Anytime that you register for a webinar, whether you attend or not, I do send out a follow-up email with a link to the recording. So if you can refer back to it or share it with someone who might be interested. Also, there is a post-webinar survey, so definitely feel free to let us know how we did. We do always appreciate your feedback. And with that, that's all I had. I just wanted to say, Jennifer, thank you so much for bringing us this presentation today. Was there anything you wanted to say in closing?
Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for attending. Sign up for a strategy session, and let's make it an absolutely amazing summer season.
Perfect. Thanks, Jennifer. And for everyone who joined us, whether you're here live now or later on the recording, we do appreciate your taking time out of your busy schedule. We certainly know your time is very valuable. Hopefully you got a lot out of this. And we look forward to talking to you on the next webinar. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.